510. The unmanned submarine continued. The unmanned submarine continues to sink, slowly but surely. A long, long journey to the bottom of the sea. Lynn and the little lady found the darkness and the salt water closing in on them. But at the very last second, something saved them. Now it looks down at them quietly. My head's filled with one giant question. What in the world is this thing? A flashlight, a hook, a bottle? Why'd you have to control all of that? Oh. Ah, nice glasses. I see you managed to survive, Detective. Hey, you're... Excuse my appearance, it seems I've lost my body. Oh, and you there. You are the ghost that's been saving Lynn all evening, aren't you? You know about me all along? Of course. What else would explain all those unnatural things happening? If you knew, how come you didn't do anything about it all this time? And how come you decided to save us all of a sudden? I thought you wanted to get revenge on us. Yeah, if you're him, we'll talk about this once it develops more. I don't really know. Please, you gotta tell me. I need to know. Who in the world are you? Sissel, look at you! What happened? I can't hold on to that image of myself not any longer. You can't remember who you are. That's right. I came all this way tonight, trying to chase down my lost memory. For quite a bit tonight, I thought I was you, Sissel. Sissel? My name isn't Sissel. Wait, but that's the name given to you by the old man in the laboratory. I bet you'll remember really soon. Who you are, and who I am too. What? The man in front of me is not me. I'm even further away from the truth. Or maybe not. Something's stirring in my mind, a memory about to emerge. Do I know this man? Now that I've shed my image of myself, I feel like I'm one step closer to the truth. They got us good. It's all over for this submarine. Its engine room is destroyed, there's a hole in the hull, and it's sinking as we speak. What are you doing here? I thought you had to deal with those people. They betrayed me. I was a fool to trust them. They already have what they wanted now. The Temzik fragment. I didn't know they had it all figured out. You mean, they figured out the source of your powers? Yeah, that meteorite's radiation has two effects on living creatures. It gives power, and time. If you don't mind, we'd like to hear more. Ooh. The radiation's power effect. These 10 years, I've been watching that junkyard superintendent do his research. And I think I've kinda got it figured out. The meteorite's radiation gives spirits special powers. like possessing and manipulating objects. And in my case, swapping objects. Exactly. Apparently, these are individual differences in the powers we get. And it seems these powers change as time goes by. They do? Yeah, my powers changed over these past 10 years. At first, I could only manipulate small living creatures. Now then, how do you suppose we got these powers? It's simple. It is? How then? Too many high voice characters. In a nutshell, we died while exposed to the energy emitted by the meteorite. It's radiation. That's what does it? Dying while being exposed to the radiation? Yep. On that day, 10 years ago. A plunger? A fragment of that meteorite pierced my heart and I died. So, of course, I received special powers. Yep, this was all from the beginning of the game. You always saw that this body was glowing. You also saw that missile died nearby, well, this kind of area. Or where the meteorite landed. You could see traces of its radiation. Hey, wait a minute! Is that how I got my powers too? No, you might be right. Oh, okay. Tower grab. There we go. Bonk. We did see that though. Aren't the Temsic remnants still right there in that park? At the bottom of the crater? You're right. So, that must mean I must have died in the presence of the meteorite's radiation too. The time effect. Another effect the meteorite's radiation has on us is that it gives us time. Again, I think this time effect is centered around the theme of death, but it's not all that clear. So, the fact that I could return to 4 minutes before a person's death is another effect of that meteorite. One of the characteristics of that meteorite is the ability to replay the moment of death. Replay the moment of death? This is all so strange and confusing. I can't take it all in. It makes about as much sense to me as anything else. Oh, missile. Yeah, strange and confusing. That just about sums up the object that pierced my body that day. Thanks to that meteorite fragment, my very existence is a contradiction. What do you mean? Contradictory existence. That day, when the fragment pierced my heart, I lost my life. However, because it remained inside of me, that fragment continued to constantly regenerate my body. In other words, my body was continuously cycling between the moments that separated my life and death. What? My body's vital function stopped 10 years ago. But my body's time is perpetually stopped at the moment just before death. Time just stopped, huh? So, I just simply existed. Not really alive, and not really dead. That pretty much sums up these last 10 years for me, ever since that incident in the park. I wonder how you sound. You don't have a mouth. Well, I guess I mind talking. My body hasn't aged a day. My hair hasn't grown an inch. Come to think of it, that old pigeon guy mentioned something. He said he couldn't cut this guy's body with a scalpel. So I guess as soon as an incision was made, his body would be regenerated. Wow. Also leaves the question of the bullet. How did that get stuck in there? And does regeneration go around it? Or try to? Before I left this country, I wanted to do one thing. I wanted to get revenge on the people who stole our lives. Our? Yeah. As part of the deal, I made these guys promise to cooperate. Cooperate? You mean the kidnapping? It's tempted to say it. You know what? Fine. I manipulated the Justice Minister and made him issue the execution order. But I thought he might call off the execution at the last second. So, that's why he wanted his daughter kidnapped. But they kidnapped the wrong girl. Little did I know, they had their own reasons for cooperating with me. Huh? Their objective was to wipe out everybody who had to do with Temsic. Detective Jod was one such person, so they were happy to cooperate. Inspector Cabanella and that junkyard super. They were slated to be wiped out too. And as it turns out, I was one of their targets as well. So they stole my Temsic fragment and here I am. But they had one more final target. You, detective. Me? One final target. If you weren't there in the park that day 10 years ago, I never would have thought of doing something as stupid as taking a hostage. Okay, but I was just a little kid playing in the park. Yeah, I know. Huh? 10 years later and you've become a detective looking into Jod's case. Tonight, I invited you to a quiet spot on the edge of town. It was a trap, you see. I told you who I was. You never saw my face that day 10 years ago. Of course you didn't recognize me. What reach? Why am I the only one? I took possession of you to make you shoot me. Your subconsciousness resisted me. Such incredible power. It was the first time I wasn't able to control somebody completely. The aim was off and the first shot missed the mark. The junkyard was equipped with security cameras. I knew you'd be wanted for murder. That was my plan anyway. Yeah, then this would be weird. But they had other ideas. They simply wanted you wiped out. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, because while we see that Sissel's plan was just to take her to jail, everyone else just well, the other people want to take her out. Dinner. But then, Something threw a big monkey wrench into their scheme. I showed up. I was supposed to meet up with them after that, but then something went wrong. What happened? My body disappeared. Aha, the inspector in white was responsible for that one. My precious bargaining chip was in that body. I had to get it back no matter what. The inspector caused me no end of trouble. But why were those people targeting me? I never even heard of the Temsic meteorite. 'Cause you were looking into the Jod case. They thought you'd find out about Temsic sooner or later. Yeah, that just about is everything. Oh, I mean the big question. Why'd you help out? And that's pretty much the whole story. The only thing left to do now is wait for water pressure to crush this submarine. Oh no. There are no cores that link from here to the water's surface. I mean, you just made... Never mind. I have an idea. We hook up the phone line and... There are no communication cables down this deep. They meant for this submarine to be my coffin. A coffin for the dead. There is no escape. I think I kind of understand now. What you've been feeling these 10 years. You what? This feeling, cut off from the world, all alone in a submarine? Sinking slowly towards the bottom of an endless sea? This must have been how you felt all along. Hey, the kid's done napping. And... Camilla! Is it true? We're stuck here? What? Oh, If my dad was here, I bet he'd save us. Oh, Camilla, I'm so sorry. Not bad delivery there. That's funny. What is funny? Ah, what is it, Sissel? There's something I don't understand. Why'd they go through all that trouble of detaching the control room? What? Why didn't they just steal the Temsic fragment and escape, if that's what they wanted? Why'd they have to jettison your body off to the sea? That's a good question. But I guess it doesn't matter why now. We'll never find it again. I have no idea where it was launched to. A bullet? Yes, we do! This'll tell us where Detective Jod is. A present from the inspector in white. That's right. Detective Jod told me to hold on to it for him. And the bullet is still in the person's body in the command room, right? Then we should be able to tell exactly where it is with this. But even if we find out where it is, how do I get there? We should be able to figure something out between the three of us. Mental math proceeds. With our powers, right, Miss Lade? Right. Oh, and wait a minute. What about a torpedo? A torpedo? In any case, it's way too early to give up. Looks like Detective John's our last hope. Come on, let's get started. Yeah, sure, launch a torpedo towards John. But, you know, I'm sure nothing bad will ever come out of it. Let's see, we got Missile, Lynn, sure, let's talk to Lynn. So, his shell's definitely there in the command room, right? Just without the fragment? It's there, yeah, but I don't know about calling it a shell. Detective John's watch will tell us exactly where it is. Right, he said it was a radio receiver, didn't he? There might still be another torpedo on this submarine. If we use it, we can get to Detective John. That's a brilliant plan, Detective. Do you think so? So, what are you gonna do? Right on top of the torpedo? Of course not! You guys are gonna go! Darn, kinda wanted to see that. Do you want to see me drown? Or crushed? Yeah, where do we go from here? Just Camilla, I guess? So, my dad isn't on the submarine? Don't worry, we're going to go get him right now. Yeah, wait a minute. This plan doesn't work. Okay. I hope I didn't hurt Lynn's feelings. What I said about my dad saving us if he was here? Oh, don't worry about that. Comments like that just roll off Miss Lynn's back. She's really thick-skinned. Yeah, ouch. I'm going to start being tougher too. I want to make my dad proud of me. Miss Camilla! I'm sure your dad is very proud of you, Camilla. Yeah, so wait. Plan is launch torpedo towards room and hope everyone lives. Okay, sure. Launch for torpedo, hope everyone lives. Sure, we'll take some grapes. Good jumping point. What is this machine shoving grapes at me? Well, this looks like the private cabin of the top officer, doesn't it? This machine's probably feeding him grapes while he lies in bed. Ooh, that sounds heavenly. Dogs eat. Never mind. I've been thinking about this for a while now. But don't you think that country's use of technology is just a little off? Says the guy who made a deal with said country. Anyway, it looks like the arm of this machine's a bit busted. Wait, get back on. Come on, up you get. Or not. I had time. Okay, to the control panel. Anything grape shaped? No. Come on. Up you get. There we go. Torpedo room, engine room. Well, you know, probably the torpedo room's the one that launches torpedoes. The torpedo room, huh? There might be another torpedo left there. I'll go check it out. Oh, I get it. You're going to use a missile to ram the control room. Well, I don't know about ram. We don't want to blow Detective John up. Well, that's something like that. We'll climb up to the torpedo room too. Ooh, up is definitely safer. Okay, I'll see you there then.